Hey everybody, it's still real to us. We're live in living color, 17 minutes after 7 o'clock.
That may be my fault too, because I'm still going on about Hollis Mason winning the heavyweight championship. So that yeah, I'm still talking about it.
God, you're such a mark.
I am. Mark me up.
So before QB1 and Joseph gets into it, let's welcome our special guest tonight, Mr. Blade Gibson. Blade, thanks for joining us tonight, and welcome to River City Media's. It's still real to me.
Hey, would you remember the show next time, Howie?
Hey, this is only my fifth one this week, so just overlook me a little bit.
I appreciate you guys for inviting me on here.
Hey,
we appreciate your time, and having a champion on here like you is always a pleasure. QB1, take it away.
Smoky Mountain Pro champion. Hey, Blade, how's that sound?
It sounds like it was almost like it was never going to happen. If I'm being completely and utterly honest, it sounds great to hear, but it also sounds very unreal just for the fact of how long and how hard I had to work to be able for that to finally happen.
It was a joke, and I asked to go first for a simple reason. I take wrestling at a high level, and I watch YouTube all the time, and I've become a fan of Blade Gibson. I've never seen you live, but I've become such a fan watching all YouTube matches. And I joked today, and I called you Mr. Excitement, but there is a level of excitement you wrestle with. It's almost a frantic level. What causes that?
Just simply being able to do what I feel like I was destined to do. So I've said this, the backstory of me 1,000 times. And I say it as many times as needed be. But for me to be in professional wrestling is more of a determination because of my dad passing away in 2018. A lot of people have heard my story, but in case for anyone that is new that hasn't heard it, my dad passed away in 2018 while I was living in Florida. And while I was sitting there looking at him in his casket, I kept thinking of myself, there's got to be a way for me to make sure the world remembers this man and he's never forgotten. So when I finally had the courage to walk up and speak my final words to my dad, I made two promises. One being that I would become a professional wrestler and that every company I step foot into, I will show my worth to where I will become a champion. And the second one is that I will eventually make it, whether that's NWA, TNA, AEW, or WWE, that I'm going to make it and I'm going to have his name along with mine remembered throughout wrestling history. That is my goal in professional wrestling, is to constantly make sure that not only am I going to leave a legacy behind, but you all know the man that was a driving force for why I did it. So for the reason why I come out being so excited, it's another time to prove myself. It's another time to bring people to believe and to understand why I do this. I'm not just out here trying to play a wrestler. I'm out to be a professional wrestler and to show the world that regardless of the issue of growing bigger in size, it's an attribute in the fact of it doesn't slow me down. It doesn't make me think I deserve to be any farther away from the ring. I go out with the sole purpose of, yes, I am this small, but when by the end of this match, you're going to see that my size is just my size. It's nothing that stops me from doing what I love doing.
You just gave the best answer that I wanted you to give that you could give, man. That is perfect. And your legacy, your father's legacy through you, I almost feel you explode when you hit the aisle. It's like, I don't know what you're like backstage, but I can tell you that the matches that I've seen, I can tell you when Blade hits the walkway, it's a different level of it.
It's all when that music hits.
Is it the music?
The moment I'm in the back, my match is getting closer. match 1 is ending or match 2 is ending, or if I'm curtain jerk, the doors have opened. You got this much time to prepare. I'm pacing back and forth, trying to make sure that I got everything down, that I'm going to go out here and give it my all. And the butterflies keep building, the nerves keep building as time's getting closer. But the moment that music hit, it turns into nothing but pure adrenaline. And that's what makes me come out there with so much energy and electricity, is the fact that the moment that music hits is the moment I know it is showtime and it's time for me to put my money where my mouth is.
Maybe I need to change the nickname that I gave him today, Joseph, to Mr. Adrenaline. That's more apropos. I'll come to you after this question, Joseph. Blade, size is never an excuse in a pro wrestling ring, and you brought it up. You're not the biggest guy in the world, but you use your size to your advantage in that you're able to put together powerful moves that not everybody else can do. Do you I've watched a couple of times and seen you do moves, and I was like, how do you get there? What was that? I've not seen that before. Are you a fan of any certain type of wrestling, or do you just go in the ring and say, hey, I think I could do this?
I'm a fan of all most types of wrestling. There's not really much I discriminate against, but when it comes to me personally being in the ring, with me being as small as I am, my only go-to thing is I can be a high flyer. That if my size, if I everybody's going to look down at me for my size, it's like you say, I use it to my advantage. That's why I'm bouncing off the ropes to do some kind of move that somebody's not done, or I'm slipping by somebody in some fashionable way. I've always been in a need for speed. That's why in the ring you'll always see me go 100 miles per hour, because that's just me personally. That's Blade Gibson, even outside the ring. He's always had a thing to be fast. Now, granted, I know in the ring you don't want to overdo it to where you injure yourself. So I obviously got to pace myself. But just going into the ring, I always get told, hey, you remind me of AJ Styles in this sense, or you remind me of, a lot of people have sat there and said that I reminded them of Logan Paul, which I guess in some aspects you look at it as a double-sided compliment. And one side's a compliment, and the other side you kind of think if it's an insult. But people always compare me to these high flyers, so I always try taking notes from what are they doing that I can spice up to make it my own.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not very many people you see try doing the phenomenal forearm, which I never when I first started wrestling, that was not my, hey, this is going to be my decisive finisher. When I first started, my finisher was originally Spike Dudley's Dudley drop.
Yeah.
That's what my original finisher was. It wasn't until I kept getting more comfortable with trying to do springboards that I was training in the ring, and I thought, could I do a phenomenal forearm? Because with my size, I felt like that would be the only move that would actually be able to get somebody off their feet, is jumping literally on the top rope and coming at them with everything I have. And the meanest forearm I can throw. So for me, it's more of both. Like I look at all styles of wrestling, but when I get in the ring, I look mainly at high flying, because that's the attribute that's going to help me the most. That's the style that's going to help me the most.
Hey, Joseph, I know you know the era I'm talking about. That era in Japan where you had Chris Jericho as Lionheart and Eddie Guerrero as the Black Tiger, and then you had the legendary Tiger Mask. I feel like Blade could fit in that era in Japan and fit very well with those guys right then. So I'll turn it over to you. But Blade, I love your style. Don't ever change a thing. Every time I can find a new Blade Gibson match, I always feel like I found an Easter egg somewhere.
I appreciate that.
Go ahead, Joseph. Is Joseph froze up? Go ahead, Howie.
I guess Joseph is froze up.
Hey,
It don't look like he's blinking.
He's when he's on here, he's always like real still anyway, so it's hard to tell.
yeah. I thought I was like, okay, Joseph, go. Howie, you go ahead because I can talk to Blade all night. Hey, Blade, seriously, I don't mark out totally, except for Evan. I'm his vice president of his fan club. I'm a fan more than a podcaster tonight, having you on. So we appreciate what you do in the ring to entertain us.
Blade, he said he asked to go first. Well, he didn't ask to go first. He told us he was going first, and we couldn't say no because he signs our checks.
Yeah, I podcasting network, so I get to go first.
So
That's
and
very
Joseph made a comment on here that you remind him of Christopher Daniels when you wrestle.
Yeah, see that.
Christopher Daniels is someone I have not heard anyone compare me to.
Look who we got back.
I am so sorry, guys. I don't know why I keep dropping tonight. I think that's the second time we've dropped here. While we were in the studio, we dropped before. So, Blade, I do apologize about that. But QB1, to answer your question, I do think that he is somebody that would fit well in that era. He'd fit really well right now in the Lightning One era as well with the National Wrestling Alliance. As fast-paced, as high-flying as he is, he brings something that the fans must want to see each and every time that you go to a match for him, whether it's Smoky Mountain Pro, whether it's Wasp, whether it's Pro Wrestling Prodigy or Prodigy Pro Wrestling, or if you guys get out there and you guys see him at Beside the Ring Championship Wrestling, wherever you see Blade Gibson, Blade, are you going to be at WrestleCade?
That I don't know. I will be there, but I don't have a table set up or anything.
Get one, baby.
I'm usually there every year anyways, but I'll definitely be there at WrestleCade.
But definitely you guys want to come out and see him, say hi to Blade Gibson wherever he's at. And I think we've got, let me get some pictures up here. Let me share my screen with you guys, and we'll show you some stuff, and we'll talk about it a little bit.
Absolutely. Pop those up. I'll make sure I get it popped up. There we go.
All right. So this is a big picture and a big night for you. You fought for almost 2 years to get this championship, a year solid of up and down battles, a year solid of being brought up and kicked down. And then you finally got to overcome it at the Greene County Fair at that special night. Talk about it a little bit, Blade.
Oh God, that's hard to put into words. Because when the day finally come for the Greene County Fair, even as I was going through work, because I got off at I left early that day to be able to get there and help set up the ring. Just the day of constantly thinking about it, as the time get closer and closer and closer, I'm like, I really gotta make sure I deliver. I really gotta make sure that I can actually bring this one home. And then during the match, I know a lot of people like to use the term aura, and I guess in our wrestling term, would like to say final boss. And I've been in the ring with Javen before, but just something about the night of him walking out that night, I could tell that he was on a different game than what I've seen him in the ring with. I definitely felt final boss aura from Javen when he walked out. But that was more of all the reason to sit there and give my hardest and my heart out in that ring. And going through it and being able to pick him up. I don't know where I had the strength to do that that far in the match. But being able to pick him up and deliver the F5 to him, that was the moment I knew that I was bringing something home. It was coming home with me one way or another.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
When I finally heard that bell after that 3 count, I couldn't breathe for a second. I was hyperventilating while also crying at the same time because I couldn't catch my breath. But all I felt was this wave of utter happiness that I was finally able to accomplish it.
The look of disbelief that you gave the crowd, that you had him on your shoulders, was just amazing. Because I don't believe you think you had it in you to do that. but you found a way, you dug deep, you delivered that F5, and it changed the entire match. It changed the entire landscape of what was going on inside that ring. It changed the momentum because you could tell that he had the full momentum up until that point. Then you just swept it out from under his feet. And when you did that, you got to bring home the most prestigious title in East Tennessee wrestling, the Smoky Mountain Pro Championship, the heavyweight championship. And Blade, I've got to commend you on that because you fought long and hard, and you've definitely have overcome the odds on more than one occasion to rise to this occasion. And you said earlier that you were doing it to submit your father's name and to make sure that your name was remembered in professional wrestling as well. I commented a little bit earlier, but I had to go away. You remind me of a young Christopher Daniels, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean that as the way that you move inside the ring, your styling of how you see what the opponent's going to do next, how you can call it and respond to it. It reminds me so much of a young Christopher Daniels that it's scary because you don't really realize, even though you're the heavyweight champion at Smoky Mountain Pro, you don't realize the potential that you have. And it's the sky's the limit, baby. I'm going to be the first one to say it. We had a no good, pompous, rich, arrogant butthole on here about a week ago, and QB1 is one of his biggest fans, the Carson Drake. And I think you could definitely take him in a fight.
Carson, that name sounds familiar. Isn't he the WWE Evolve Championship?
Yeah, he's World League Wrestling Heavyweight Championship, the Evolve Heavyweight Champion, and the JCP Heavyweight Champion currently.
Look, I can't say. I'm not going to sit here and start bad mouthing Drake because I've seen his work up close and in person, and that man brings a level of intensity. Brings the level of intensity that is very hard to match. Because,
well, Blade, I'll do it for you. I think anybody that will put their hands on a pastor and beat the crap out of a pastor live in front of an audience deserves to get anything said about him that's possible. So I think that you have a fair chance of getting in the ring with him and taking home one of those titles in the future. If not all of them.
Somebody looks like they got something to say.
I'd like to see Blade Gibson and Carson Drake for the NWA JCP title. That'd be awful sweet.
Too sweet. Let's just call it. It's too sweet. How you got any thoughts on that?
I would be all up for the challenge. I respect his work. He is definitely he has earned where he is at. I've seen him in person. I've seen him on the TV. I've obviously missed something because that's a little over the top with. That part don't fly with me, but I give him his credit where it's due. He's earned his spot to where he's at, and I will not take that away from him.
Blake, I wouldn't even consider it earning his spot where he's at. If you think about it, he's paying a couple of slime balls to hang around with him to make sure that he wins every match that he gets involved in. He's got those two little twerps running around with him that are slimy all the time. So if you do get in the ring with him, you have to be on the up and up and know that he's going to bring some extra firepower in his corner. I don't know if we just lost Blade or not, guys. Howie?
Yeah, we lost Blade. He's got a phone call or a text. He'll be back in a second. I know that black screen very well. Randy?
You seem a little bitter that Carson beat up a pastor.
Who does that? Who puts their hands on a man of God and then destroys them, almost tears their shoulder out of socket, QB? I mean, let's really talk about it. Carson Drake is a lowlife for even thinking about getting in the ring with a pastor. He should have passed it up and said, look, EC3, I don't think this is the right match for me. Put me in the ring with Dante Casanova. Put me in the ring with Big Pretty Boy Smooth. Don't put me in the ring with somebody that has no fighting ability whatsoever. He basically threw him to the wolves, and Carson Drake ate him like he was prey.
All right, then. Not gonna lie to you, my stuff lagged out on half of that. But for the part that I caught, I can see exactly why you're upset and why you say that. Now, again, I didn't hear the full extent of it, but I heard the beginning part where you talk about him having his slime balls sit there and help him to win
Yeah.
every match.
Yeah, his slime balls come out and help him with every match. And if it's not the slime balls, it's his troublemakers. He's got everybody on the take. He's rich enough to pay everybody. He reminds me a lot of a young DiBiase. Everybody has a price, baby. And everybody does have a price for Carson Drake. Carson Bartholomew Drake. And Blade, that's why I'm saying, if you get the opportunity to stand in the ring with him, you've overcome every odd set before you before. You can do it again. And I am in your corner when it comes Carson Drake and Blade Gibson time.
But when that time comes, I'm willing to step up and take it. So that's where we can leave. That can be my message right there. If the opportunity were to arise to where I can take one of the three, or if he wanted to be ballsy enough to put all three on the line, then I would be more than happy, more than happy to do it.
Blade, could you do us a quick favor and exit the studio, then come right back in where we can actually see you?
Oh yeah, I got you.
Thank you, Blade.
So,
well, Howie, what's your thoughts on it?
My thoughts are, I think you need a Xanax or something and calm down a little bit. You've been fired up for the last 3 weeks about this.
It just kind of happened. Just happened.
Just kind of happened, QB1. They knew it was going to happen. They threw a hopeless pastor into the ring with a man who's been wrestling for over 5 years and is a professional and knew how to hurt him. Not only a professional, he's a karate expert as well. So he knew that he was going to get into the ring with a man that knew how to fight. I can't blame him. His pride had to keep him there. But good Lord, Carson Drake was going to take and destroy him, and you know it.
Blade is glad to be back. Good. Go ahead.
You didn't miss nothing, Blade. Just a lot of ranting and raving by Joseph.
I'm just upset about it. I hope that Blade Gibson gets the opportunity to steal, not only steal those titles, but take them away in an orderly fashion from the Carson Bartholomew Drake.
If the moment occurs to where that is able to happen, I will see to it to happen. And if you want to say I won't beat him the first time, you might be right. There might be a possibility that he'll have one on me and beat me on it. But let me give you a quick history lesson of people that try doing that try having these groups to outnumber Blade Gibson. How it works is that you will sit here and grab your group and try to put down Blade Gibson. What that leads to is me getting mad. And when I get mad, I start making it a point to make sure to see your fall, to make sure there is a downfall. When you mentioned Wasp, my own flesh and blood brother tried to take me out. And not just take me out, but try taking over the whole roster. I sat there. When it was just me and him, I was willing to jump off the top of a ladder and drive a chair through his ribs the same way he did mine and had him coughing up blood. When he brung out his faction, I was able to fight his faction for 1.5 years by myself before everyone else at Wasp decided they had enough and wanted to join forces with me. Then look at Javen Myra at Smoky Mountain Pro. You had him, Jamie, and Devon constantly wreaking havoc. The one time his group isn't allowed to interfere in a match, what happens? I seized the opportunity and walked out the champion. So regardless of whether he wants to do it by himself or if he wants to pay people off to try helping him, if he crosses my path and he screws me over, that leads to a demise somewhere down the road. It's the way it started with Chance was him screwing me out of a cruiserweight triple threat match, which then led to his big downfall. Javen Myra, he screwed me out of my Smoky Mountain Pro title match against Michael Gabriel at the time, which then led to his downfall. So if you want to have a match with me, Jackson, or if you want to have a match with me, or if the opportunity arises, I will take the opportunity. But for once, I would recommend doing it fairly and winning cleanly. Because if you don't, then you have yourself a Blade Gibson problem, like everyone else has. And trust me, I'm the one problem you will not overcome.
You know, some people say you're like a nagging pain. You just keep coming back. But the truth of it is, they gave you the nagging pain first. You're just inflicting the same damage that they inflicted on you inside that ring, Blade. And that's commendable, sir. You never go away. You never give up, and you never quit fighting. And whether or not you get this opportunity in this match, and if it actually happens, I know for a fact that you'll come out and be victorious, and you will take what is rightfully yours with you one day.
I appreciate the kind words. I hope to make those words come to fruition.
I hope they do.
Joseph, you can comment. Is Smoky Mountain Pro not got just a ton of factions going on, including a new one of Casey Casana and a couple of folks maybe running around?
There is a lot of new factions that are running around, especially after the Saviors got a clear and decisive new leader. Let's talk about that a little bit. And Blade, I know you haven't crossed paths with them quite as much, but are you worried that that's going to be the next step, the next stepping stone here? You think that the old Saviors are going to come out of nowhere and make trouble for you?
I expect it, especially considering who won the match, which was, from my bitter memory, I want to say it was Max Abel, or TK Maxx, as he goes by now. And
that's an identity crisis.
I've been in the ring with Max, so I can see what he brings to the table. But as far as trying to become a threat to me, I wouldn't suggest it, considering that Mayhem is definitely the show that I now am the face of. So I mean, if the Saviors want to sit here and try taking over Smoky Mountain Pro entirely, then by all means, I welcome the challenge. But again, if you want to have a problem on your plate, then just knock on the door. That's simply all they have to do, is knock on the door.
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
Well, you got to think, too, you just came out of a huge rivalry with Javen Myra. Do you think that he's looking for revenge, and that faction there is looking for revenge overall?
I expect it. I don't expect an immediate one. I don't expect Javen to sit there and come back immediately. I expect him to lick his wounds first. But I know he'll strike at some point. When, I don't know. But I know it's eventually, somewhere down the road, he's going to strike. And he's going to want to be back on top. Everybody.
I think we just lost him again. Blade, are you there? You said everybody and it went out.
Everybody wants to be on top. So I expect everybody to be trying to target me. I know right now there is a massive, massive target that is actually probably bigger than my back is. Probably bigger than me in general. That everybody wants to shoot at. But the challenge I laid to all of them is to try to hit the bullseye. Because if you don't hit it, the title's not coming home with you.
Absolutely. Howie J, do you have any thoughts, sir?
Blade, you already kind of mentioned it. You're not a very big individual to start with, and I know you don't feel this way, and us three on here don't feel this way, but I'm sure there's some people that does. When they see you walk into the ring and they feel like you're probably an underdog, how does that make you feel?
Great. No, let's go more. Let's use a deeper term than that, because I literally heard. So we're gonna go back to the Greene County Fair. I just walked out, and I'm waiting for Javen to walk out. When Javen walks out, all I hear behind me is a fan in the front row sit there and say, "Blade, you're gonna die." Which, when I sat there and heard that, I processed it for a minute. But then I remembered that every person that sat there and said I was going to die in a wrestling ring, or sat there and said the other person was going to beat me, they were proven wrong. So that's the way I look at it. If somebody wants to sit there and actually, I expect that. I want that. I want people to be I want there to at least be 10 to 15 people, at most 10 to 15 people that are out in that crowd, that when they see me walk through that curtain, they can sit there and maybe cheer for me at first, or they see the opponent I'm already about to face, and they already sit there and lose faith. Because that's where it's on me to sit there and do what I do best and make them believers. So by all means, if there's somebody out there that does not believe in me, that's just there and wants to say that just because of my size and because of how big I am, that the person that I stand no chance in the ring, to continuously doubt me. Because as you watch, I will make you a believer. It might not even be right now. You might hate me right now just for the fact I'm trying to make you believe. But eventually down the road, I will make, in some way, some shape or form, I'm going to make you believe. That is the whole purpose of me going out there, is to make the people that are there to see me have a great time and get their money's worth, and to make sure they leave smiling at the product that Blade Gibson just produced. And that if somebody walked in there, wasn't not believing me, they walked out remembering that they believe in Blade Gibson.
Randy, I know you got something to say. Go ahead and say it.
I got chill bumps. That's all I'm gonna say. I got chill bumps.
Yeah, you know, and I hope you remember that when I started that question, I emphasized that us three here, we do believe in you,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
and we know that you got a bright future ahead of you. But you're talking about the phenomenal forearm, the springboard, and all that. How the crap do you jump up on that top rope and balance yourself and jumping and all that? How did you start? I know you didn't start just jumping on the top rope. Well, I don't know how you did it. That's why I'm asking the question.
So I'll be legit. I'll be straight up as honest with that one. So how I came up with using the phenomenal forearm, which in my term, I can see I'm lagging you.
It's all right.
Oh, we
We
lost
lost
him
it, but
again.
he'll come back.
Oh yeah. So
Hey, Joseph, I know you know a lot about Smoky Mountain Pro and that group, and Javen. Javen's an impressive athlete. Just to see the visual of Javen versus Blake, that is an incredible visual in the ring. I think that helps tell the story of Blake Gibson.
Well, the only way that you can really compare it is if we're looking at modern day wrestling and you're looking at people, you got to think Brian Cage. Brian Cage is a huge, beefy, stocky, extremely talented man. And then you got a gentleman, which I'm not taking anything away from Blade Gibson. So please don't take that like this. Don't take this as a backhanded slap. But you've got somebody like a young Christopher Daniels that's stepping in the ring, that's skinny, that's just got enough muscle on his body to hold himself together. But the man can wrestle and can get his moves out there and can get off and use his quickness and his agility and his mind to manipulate the situations given to him. And I think that that's what makes the difference in a match like that. And Javen is a very impressive, very impressive spectrum of a man. I mean, he has everything that you'd want: physical attributes, mental attributes, wrestling ability. There is no lack of anything in this man. If you want a professional wrestler that you could say, we could put a title on this guy and he could carry this company, and you're looking at anybody out there, there's only a couple people that come to mind. Silas Mason comes to mind. Spencer Slade comes to mind, and Javen Myra come to mind. Those are my top three that would come to my mind out of independent wrestling and wrestling in general, that you could actually put something on them and they could hold it up and really hold a really good Kenny Omega. I mean, I would give Kenny Omega that nod too if he was still out there and going about it. But that's really where I would call it.
And then Blade able to take him.
Yeah. Blade's not only able to take him out, he realized as soon as he got him on his shoulders, the momentum changed and you could feel it on that outside. You could feel it outside at the Greene County Fair. The entire crowd was stunned because they couldn't believe that Blade had that size and that specimen of a man on his shoulders, that he delivered such a powerful move to him, which, by the way, was Javen Myra's finishing move. He delivered that same move to him, and it shocked and stunned the crowd in such a way that they knew from that point in time forward, and he knew from that point in time forward, that he was going to walk out with that title, and the crowd was going to be wowed.
Absolutely. Hey, welcome back, Blade.
I'm
We're all
sorry about the
we're all
situation,
having
That's okay.
guys.
with your question.
Yeah, go ahead and answer his question as far as the springboard and everything. How did you get started?
Oh, so it was more so like right after a show. Right, no, it was when we set up the ring. We are sitting there hitting the ropes, bumping, trying to warm up for the show. And then I started looking at the ropes, and it just started processing with me because at this point I already came up with springboarding off the second rope, and hitting people with a clothesline. So I just started getting into the thought process of, could I do something else besides, can I go off the top rope? So I went on the outside. I just thought, I'm just gonna try jumping in the ring. So when I jumped up there, I had perfect foot placement to be separated, and just jumped into the middle. I did that about 3 or 4 times and got to where I kept getting in the middle. And then I sat there and had somebody sit in the middle of the ring and practice hitting the forearm on him. And luckily enough, I was able to hit it to where it didn't look like crap at least. But when I hit it the very first time in a wrestling match, it just felt like the right move for me. Just because of how when I jumped up and did it and nailed it, I just felt like it looked more like I actually made an impact to somebody than just running up the corner and making them land on their face.
So is the foot placement the most important part of it?
Yes, it's foot placement and knowing how to properly balance yourself on there for that split second, because there's been plenty of times where I've sat there and jumped up to where I leaned up a little too far forward and didn't let go, and then I fall in the ring, or I didn't jump high enough to where my toe just barely catches the top rope and I fall in the ring. There's a or or sometimes if the rope's not on good enough, uh I go to springboard and the rope will sway out from underneath me, because I've had that happen before. Fun times. But
Right.
it gets harder to try to springboard depending on the ring you're working with, because some rings they have ropes that are like full on hand grip. Some are a little bit of a tighter hand grip, and some are just you can't even wrap your hand fully around. So it really kind of just depends on the ropes too.
Right. QB?
Which is better for that, to have a springier rope or a more give rope?
I'd say a more springier rope.
Okay.
Well, I know I have a hard time just walking across the floor. There's no way I could ever jump up on the top rope there and springboard off of it. So, Blade, let me ask you kind of a little bit off subject, but let me ask you this real quick. Past or present, name someone that you would love to get in the ring with.
Uh, if I was gonna pick anyone to get in the ring with, I would have to go with Shawn Michaels. Just because of the whole being the showstopper, being the noise from when his music would hit, just the few beats of his music, but really just everything he did in the ring, the way he worked was just beyond something that I can ex- really explain. His work always fascinated me the most when it came to being a baby face. When it comes to being a baby face, I feel like there's no better man to take notes from than Shawn Michaels. When it comes to the whole selling, the urge to fight, what's the word I'm looking for? The charisma of when he comes out the curtain. That's where I kind of get my stuff from, because I see how you can see in his eyes that he was loving being in the ring, and that's what it really takes for me to be fired up before I go out there, is the fact that we're doing what we love. If you even as a heel, if you're going out there being a bad guy, still underneath whatever face you're making to the crowd to make them boo you, if you're not going out there with, man, I love the fact that I'm doing this and I'm so excited to be doing it, then don't be in the ring. That's quite literally what most veterans have actually said to me, is the way if you get that first show to where you're not nervous and you're not getting butterflies, you're not sitting here about to get excited for your match, that you shouldn't be in the ring, because then you've lost your love for the sport. Really, at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to, is that you lost your love for the sport.
We're going to put some pictures up and let Joseph tell us a little bit about them.
All right, Mr. Blade. So you have a huge match that's going to be coming up September 19th at 426 Crosby Highway in Newport, Tennessee for Prodigy Pro Wrestling for Resurgence. Doors are going to be opening at 6 p.m. The bell time is going to be at 7 p.m. General admission will be $10. VIP tickets will be $15. Blade, you've got a huge opportunity here against Chance Coleman. Tell us a little bit about it.
First off, his name's Chase. Chase Coleman.
I apologize. Chase.
I called him Chance too when I first read his name, but then I realized how it was pronounced. But this has been a match that I have been pushing for over at least a year now. I have been pushing to have this one-on-one match with him. I had a small altercation with Chase back in the start of the summer of last year, I want to say, but it was a gauntlet match, and he was the last man in there, and we just had, I think, roughly 5 minutes of being in the ring together. But those 5 minutes was enough for me to sit there and be like, I need to have a one-on-one with him. There's something that we can not only make with, but we can prove with. We can prove ourselves with. I feel like this is definitely going to be a match to where all eyes need to be on. You're about to see two guys go out there and not only deliver magic, but prove to everyone why you should be having eyes on us. Like, granted, because Coleman's just about the same size as me. I mean, you can see just from that alone that we roughly have the same build. But we're about to sit here and prove that that build is about to be what can make a match fantastic. We don't need to be two big meaty guys slapping me. We're about to be two very small. We're about to be two very small, light individuals to where if you blink, you're possibly going to miss a lot of stuff.
You're catching lightning in a bottle, Blade. You're catching lightning in a bottle is what you're doing. All right. And then September 20th, 2025 at Wasp Pro Wrestling at Forge Creek Community Center at Forge Creek, Mountain City, Tennessee is where that's going to be. Tell us a little bit about it. What's going to be going on there?
So last month, technically no, earlier this month, we're still in August. Earlier this month, there was a show for Chris Thunder Anderson, who recently passed away. And there was a man that showed up there near the end of the show named Tommy Okami, who wanted to roll his mouth, claiming that he was the Enchanted One and that he was there to take on anyone that wanted to sit there and step up to him. Which originally he was thinking it was going to be Nikki Chooch. Shout out to Nikki for screwing him over of the Wasp Heavyweight Championship the month prior. But Nikki didn't show up, and I saw an opportunity to possibly show a chance for why I deserve to go after the only title that I've not held on Wasp yet, which is the Wasp Heavyweight Championship. So I went in there, I accepted his challenge. We go in there, I start having him right where I want him, right where I'm about to hit him with that perfect shot. And then what happens? Some man in a mask decides to come out there and distract me. I took my eye off the ball for 1 second, and it costed me. And therefore, Tommy came out on top. So I've laid the issue out to Tommy that could he really be satisfied with that win? By all means, you beat Blade Gibson. You beat the face of Wasp Wrestling. But can you really say you beat him when you had to have an assist? That's the one thing that bothers me with people trying to have have someone come in there and interfere. Okay, yeah, I'll give you your props. If you wanted to have somebody come in there and interfere, you beat Blake Gibson. But can you really say you did it by yourself? Can you really say you beat him as a man if you had to have help? So that's why I laid out the Tommy. I'm still waiting to see if Tommy wants to respond, if Tommy's willing to give me my match again, but time will tell.
And they can find out September 20th in Mountain City, Tennessee. Definitely go out there and check it out. You will get to see the Blade Gibson. Now, Blade, I've got some other stuff pulled up here that I forgot to go over today. Bad Moon Rising is going to be taking place Saturday, September 6th. The bell time is going to be at 7:30 at the beautiful Bobby Eaton Arena at Net Pro Studios LLC in Kingsport, Tennessee. And then also Pile Driver Pro Wrestling is going to be having an absolutely free show, free admission at the Barrel House by Gypsy Circus, Saturday, August 30th. So that's going to be this Saturday coming up for you guys. Viral Pro Wrestling at AWF is going to be taping a live TV taping September 6th at the Circus Tent Arena in Ringgold, Georgia. And then TPW, which I don't know if you're going to be here or not, but TPW, Guess Who's Back is going to be hosting in Louisville, Tennessee, and it's going to be a beautiful show that's going to be taking place there.
Randy, what was you saying?
That is AWF's first TV taping in the new studio.
Absolutely. Since they've remodeled, it'll be the absolute first new TV taping in the new studio. And then, of course, October 1st, Wrestling for a Cause Chattanooga is going to be hosting in Dunlap, Tennessee. They have just announced it. We're waiting on the exact spot that they're going to be at. They will give us that shortly, guys, and we'll get that out to you all as well. Blade, I'm sorry about that. We just had to put that in there before we got off tonight. I want to ask you before you get off, if anybody out here is looking to book Blade Gibson, the face of perfection, how can they do it, sir?
They can reach me at Blade Gibson on Facebook. They can reach me at my email at bladegibson960@gmail.com. And they can reach me at Instagram at BladeGibson2. Trying to remember my Instagram's a little bit harder. The Instagram part might be
I got that problem.
But definitely the other two, the Facebook and the Gmail. Those two are definitely accurate. I can confirm those two.
I'll look. Hold on just a second. I'll see if we can find it. We can pull it out.
Well, while you're doing that, I want to show everybody something. I've been over here working, and if you'll come to the top of RiverCity-Media right now, you can see one of my favorite matches, and that is Blade Gibson versus Michael Gabriel from January of this year. And it was probably my first match when I started researching Blade when he was first on RiverCity-Media. So I hated to be distracted, but I wanted to find that particular match. If you want an introduction to Blade Gibson and what he is inside the ring, start with that match. And tomorrow, I might throw another one up, but that match is why I'm a Blade Gibson fan.
I think we lost Blade.
That's okay. We can go over it. So he was correct. It's Blade Gibson 2 altogether. Blade Gibson 2 is how you follow him right there. And you can follow all his social media output that's right there. And then also on his Facebook page, you can follow him at Blade Gibson. And look, he's got everything going on. TCW, even a chance for revival at Gold at TCW. Pro Wrestling or Prodigy Pro Wrestling, the Bowling Point at All Pro Wrestling. I mean, he is all over the place. Come out and say hi to Blade Gibson at one of these live events. And Blade, did we miss anything? Is there somewhere in your book that we're not showing?
So if you go back down there, All Pro Wrestling is actually this Saturday. And that title I actually have with me. So I'm currently at this very moment, I am champion of 3 promotions: Titan the Turnbuckle, APW, and Smoky Mountain Pro. APW, I am their current junior heavyweight champion. So that there's some gold that I have on me right now. But this is the title I plan to defend this Saturday in Elizabethton.
Nice.
Against who? That's yet to be announced. But if I had my guesses, I feel like there's somebody that wants to run it back, and that would be Michael Starr. Me and him fought for this title last month. It was last month.
Last month, yeah.
Yeah, it was last month. Me and him fought for this title at heating up, and from what the fans, the people in the back, even the wrestler, the guys in the back, everybody was down there saying that me and Michael Starr tore the house down and that we had the match of the night. I have that match recorded. I just sadly don't have a way of uploading it, but I'm trying to figure that part out at the moment. If there's a match, if there's a match I want to personally boost out there to say to watch, if you want to try to be a fan of my work, I would definitely put me and Michael Starr on there. It's one of the.
If you get it uploaded, let me know and we'll post it to River City Media.
I will most definitely do that. I appreciate you for talking about the Michael Gabriel match, though, because conveniently enough, depending on which one you are talking about, it's either the one where I versed him in a steel cage, or it's the one where I versed him and Javen Myra made it a point to come out and attack me.
It's the one where Jay comes out and attacks you.
Oh yeah, so of course that's where Javen Myra's Blade Gibson problem started.
Absolutely, it was.
That you and Michael have some energy together in the ring too. It just, it's very exciting to see you two in the ring together.
A lot of people say that about me and Evan Golden too.
Evan, Evan and you might have been posted on this channel a few times already.
He said, "Hey, pal, he's got a bone to pick with you, buddy."
Hey, I'm trying to get him to release a SOB shirt straight out of Bucknort.
You know, what's crazy is I called somebody the other day as Evan Golden, and they ate it tooth and nail. They thought I was the Golden Child tooth and nail. I was going, "Hey, pal, listen, I think that we can have a really good match this week if you'll just talk to me, buddy. We can set this up for Saturday." And they were eating it alive. So I'm not going to name who that was, but just know if you get a random call from Evan Golden, you might want to double check with the Golden Child to see if you're actually on the phone with him.
Okay.
Blade, before we let you get going, you got anything else you'd like to promote or put out there? Any merchandise or anything?
Currently at the moment, no. I'm still trying to work on getting shirts. It's kind of been a long tassel of getting personal life to be a little bit mellow to do that. But again, come out, see me this Saturday. Come watch me defend the APW Junior Heavyweight Championship. Come see me at all my events. If there's anything that I can possibly bestow on as advice to anyone that is either in wrestling, watching wrestling, or possibly even wants to become a wrestler, the one thing holding you back from achieving your dreams will only be you. And that
Absolutely.
There will be no one else to hold accountable. So no matter what anyone says, if you have a dream and passion to do it, all you need to do is take that first step of trying to do it.
Randy, do you know any way we can his picture is black on my end. Can y'all actually see him?
No, he's black on mine too.
Okay.
I don't know if that fixed it or not, but
no,
maybe,
it didn't.
Maybe I guess leave and come back in, because I like to see those belts if you don't mind.
Hey, you know the thing about Blade too, and I'll say this for him. Blade is, of the 4.5 years of owning River City Media, maybe one of the easiest guests I've ever worked with. You know, Blade, I can say, "Hey, can you be here this day, this time?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can be there this time." Blade's a good man, and I feel like Blade, don't let me bragging on you, blow make your head too large. But Blade has always treated River City Media first class. I have a feeling it's just not us. I think if you're a fan of Blade Gibson and you see him at a show, that is the guy you want to go up to and, give him his flowers. I don't feel like Blade's going to run from you like some of the guys do. Walk up to him.
I'll sit there and talk to anybody if you're willing to walk up and talk to me.
That's it.
Blade, let's see those belts real quick before we get going.
Do you mind if I pull the curtain back just a little bit, Blade? All right. So when we were working with Smoky Mountain Pro under their former name, Blade was cutting some promos at one point in time, and he was having a hard time just saying a couple lines and getting it just right. And I'm going to tell you the type of worker he is. Instead of cussing and fussing and walking away and saying he can't do it or he'll come back later to do it, he worked and worked and worked until it was perfect and on spot. And so that's the type of perfection you're going to get, is a man that is so dedicated to his craft in every aspect of it, whether it's cutting a promo, whether it's in-ring work, whether it's behind the scenes work, whether it's making sure that he's on time and available to you. If you're booking this man's going to be perfect for each and every one of your events. And so definitely give him a shout out and send him a message, send him a follow, send him a like, and get him to your shows to work today.
And to just tack on a little more, did you notice earlier today when we were talking to Blade, he said he got off early to go to Greene County to help one of the biggest shows of the year to help set up the ring.
Yeah,
Kind of guy you need to book.
absolutely.
Now,
All right, Blade, where are those big old titles at?
Blade, we bragged on you. Now show us the gold.
See, that's the sad part, is that the promotions typically don't let me walk away with it. I don't get the Evan Golden treatment. I get to walk away with every title that I win.
It's special, pal. Didn't you know?
Literally the only title I'm holding at the moment.
That's all right.
That's nice.
It's beautiful.
Hey, you know what? I love Evan, but if he loses the title, he'll make his own version of it. So, that's always possible.
Yeah, there's a rumor out there that he goes to Sherwood and steals garbage can lids and make titles.
He does. Have you not seen him? He's even had a couple fake titles.
But do you guys not remember seeing the Gen 3 Express Championship?
Yeah.
That was just some pieces of tape and cardboard he threw together.
And he wrote on it, he painted it.
Wrote Gen 3 Express Champion.
It may or may not be in my man cave as we speak, but move on for that.
Well, Blade, we appreciate you joining us. We're going to let you get off here, and best of luck this weekend at your matches. And before we let you go, we always want everybody to give a shout out. So who do you got shout outs to give?
Before you say that, the next weekend, all weekend, Labor Day weekend, every day, a new Blade Gibson match go up on RiverCity-Media. And we'll just turn Labor Day into Blade Gibson. So tonight we put up Michael Gilbert and him. Tomorrow it's going to be an Evan Golden Blade Gibson match going up. There's a tag team match, a special one I love that I'll surprise everybody with Saturday. Then if you've got something you particularly like, Sunday is choice. Tell me what match you like me put up Sunday, and then Monday we'll rerun them all. So this will be a weekend of Blade Gibson match on River City.
Well, I appreciate that.
And
I do that before. I'm not even saying that sarcastically. I'm saying that seriously, like sincerely.
We appreciate it, man. And, we really thank you for what you do. And I love wrestlers that make me feel something, and you make me feel something in the ring. It's not what you say; it's the ring work. It's good. So go ahead, Howard. Sorry,
No, you're good. Joseph, you have anything before we ask Blade to give you any shout outs?
Yeah, we always ask this question, Howie, and you forgot. Waffle House, baby. What's your go-to meal?
Typically just a waffle. Most of the time it's a chocolate chip waffle. It's a chocolate chip waffle with a side of lightly done bacon and toast. That is literally sometimes sausage too, but most of the time it's just toast, bacon, and waffle.
That chocolate chip waffle is gaining ground in this Waffle House.
Yeah, that's absolutely. So, Blade, any shout outs before we let you go, man?
I definitely want to give a shout out to my upcoming opponent, which is definitely want him a shout out if I don't lag out.
Let's see if we still got you by voice. Blade, are you still there?
We still hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Are you there, Blade?
Oh, yeah. Am I back now? Can you guys see me, or am I?
I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Yeah, just say it. We can hear you, but we can't see you.
We're just gonna have to finish it like this, I guess.
Yeah,
But
that's fine.
I definitely want to give a shout out to Chase Coleman. James Anthony is definitely somebody to give a shout out to. If you don't know any of his work, I definitely suggest checking him out. I guess I'll give Evan some flowers, give him a shout out, even though we talked about him enough. Devon Belcher is somebody that I'm going to give a shout out for, just because he's somebody that if you're not paying attention, you're going to be missing something. And shout out to my family. Like my family is the whole reason why I'm even able to do this. So I appreciate the entirety of my family, especially my mom. My mom's been the driving force of me being able to be in wrestling. So I definitely want to give the biggest shout out to my mother.
Awesome. Good deal.
Hey, Blade, come back about Christmas time. We'll just get back in the schedule again. About 4 months.
That works for me.
All right, buddy.
Awesome. Good
All right.
deal.
Thank
Any closing remarks, QB?
Hey, and go somewhere. Do something this weekend. It's a great weekend. I'm taking off to Atlanta, but there's so many good wrestling shows this weekend. If I wouldn't taking off to Atlanta, I would be finding a show to go to. So go support the wrestlers. Talk about every week. You know, go to the tables. And if anybody's got a pro wrestling T-shirt, go to Pro Wrestling Tees and pick that up. Support our local town because they do a lot.
Absolutely. Joseph, closing remarks.
Absolutely. I would love to see that match at JCP. And I know Joe Kazana, Casey Kazana, and none other than the Big Brute himself were in here tonight. And they got to see it right when we were talking about it. But I'd love to see that heavyweight championship match between Blade Gibson and Carson Drake at NWA JCP. Make it happen. You are the president of the National Wrestling Alliance, Joe Kazana. Make it happen. We want to see it.
That's Carson Bartholomew. So,
Blade, I don't know if you realize this or not, but I think Joseph is trying to become the president of the Blade Gibson fan club.
No.
I was about to say, I'm like, well, that puts him in a steep competition with Evan Golden's president of his fan club. You might actually have a lot on your hands having to fight between them two.
actually, Joseph's wife is the president of the fan club. I'm the vice president.
True story.
True story.
How the
True
table
story.
Take us out of here, Howie.
Yes, sir. Everybody have a great weekend, Labor Day weekend. Stay safe. Have a great time. We'll see y'all next week. So for QB1, Joseph Hughes, Rabid Beaver, and for our special guest tonight, Blade Gibson, the face of perfection. I'm the Howie Chaney, and good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.